Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another First Impressions video. In today's First Impressions video, we are taking a look at my new Midwest Industries MR556 or 416 rail. And before we get this video started, I wanted to give a huge shout out to this video's sponsor, which is HRT Tactical. They are an incredible company if you are looking for soft goods in the way of placards, plate carriers, and pretty much everything in between. I've been working with HRT here on the channel for years. I have been using the rack and the L-back plate carrier now for a very long time. And those are two of my favorite plate carriers in the collection without a doubt. They do a great job at distributing the weight evenly. It's very comfortable to wear. They have a massive Black Friday sale coming up at the end of this month in November. They're doing the entire week of Black Friday, and you're looking at 20% off store-wide. So if you guys were ever looking at building out a plate carrier, now is the time to do it. It's going to get you 20% off that entire week. Don't have to worry about rushing for one specific day. Any day of the week, you're good to go. And I seriously appreciate their support here on the channel. Midwest, you guys continually blow me out of the water with some of these products that you make that I had no clue that you make. Why is that the case that you guys make all of this essential stuff that I always need, and somehow I only find out by searching the store? I'm like, hey, they make this. Awesome. Let's get it. Let's get one on the channel. Of course, full disclosure, what is my relationship with Midwest? They didn't pay me for any of these reviews. However, they did send me this rail for free to check out. One of the coolest companies out there in the industry. Seriously, those guys are so down to earth, so awesome, and they really go above and beyond in supporting my channel and everything that I do here. Now, I have had the HK MR556 now for about a year, and I have, of course, truly fallen in love with this rifle. It is excellent. It's sat in a few different configurations, but one of the main complaints that I had about this rifle right out the gate was the factory free float rail. Is it usable? Is it durable? Yes, of course, but it is so freaking thick. This thing is chunky, to say the least. And you know, on certain guns, I think the thick, chunky rail looks really good. In this particular case, on the MR556, it looked very out of place. It just did not mesh well with the gun. Of course, that's a complete aesthetic sort of thing, but I will also say that at the range, this was kind of a beast to hold on to and maneuver the gun. You are already working with a very heavy rifle. The HK 416 or MR556 in this case is a very heavy piston-driven platform. And when you had that large of a rail, you're just kind of grabbing a hold of this massive mass up in the front of the gun, and it's not super easy to get target transitions. I know that might seem a little bizarre to some folks because some might think, hey, that's a bigger rail, it's going to be easier to maneuver, but I had some serious issues. And I was looking around for different HK 416 or MR556 rails that were out there, and I always saw the Geissele's and a few other options, but we're talking like on a discount, high 300s and getting into the $400, sometimes even $500, depending on where you're getting it, for a replacement rail. And especially for the fact that these rails are not even coming with barrel nuts, because the HK rail system, on every rail on the market, they use the same screw pattern. So you are not even having the additional manufacturing costs of a barrel nut, yet these rails are $400 or $500. That seriously put a slowdown on my search for a new rail. I was just like, you know what? It's not really worth it. I'll just keep using the wider rail. And then randomly, I decided to do some searching around again, and I went to the Midwest website, and I found out that they have a 416 or MR556 rail. They have it in two different lengths. This one in particular is a 13.7-inch rail, which not only gives you a very nice crucifix style up at the front of the rail, it hugs the barrel like a standard AR, although it does get you a little deeper in the rail. It's also longer by about a ½ inch. So I was blown away that they had that, and then when I clicked the 13.7 box, it was not only in stock, but it was only like 270 bucks. Midwest, this is why people love you. This is why, because you keep doing stuff like this. And you know, I really appreciate it. Now, a few things about this rail. You have your standard Midwest style scallops out here on the side. This is going to add just a little bit of traction on the side of the rail. Not really a huge thing. It's really more aesthetics, if anything. Now, Midwest is also using their own captured screw here. And they went with your standard Allen head wrench, and that is just their preference. The factory HK is a flat head. Now, with the factory HK, you'll notice it's really hard to get a bit over that if you really wanted to just get a socket driver or whatever to get it out. If, for whatever reason, it was that tight, even though it should not be, the Midwest option is a little bit easier to get onto, which is great. You have T markings up on top of the rail, and you do not have any sort of QD sling swivel points, whereas you do have that on the factory HK rail. A little bit of a bummer, but really not a huge deal. I did have a BCM M-LOK QD swivel cup point there that I just screwed on to the M-LOK, so it did just fine. Now, as far as at the range, I was burning it down in this B-roll with the MR556 and absolutely no issues whatsoever with heat or anything like that. This thing was bomb-proof at the range. So overall, I don't really have much more to say. It's an awesome rail at a great price, super easy install, dropped in, no problems. And once again, Midwest Industries knocks it out of the park, and they help me out complete this package and make it a much more aesthetically pleasing gun and usable platform. Guys, if you have any other questions about this rail or anything else on the channel, please throw them down below in the comments section, and I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description for the ways to support the channel, and as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.